What if every story, every book, every movie, and every song you've ever loved was written by artificial intelligence? Not a human pen, not a human mind. Just cold, calculating algorithms crafting the tales that fill your heart and imagination. Picture this, a world where creativity no longer belongs to people, but to machines. How would that change the way we feel about stories? Would we even care who wrote them if they were perfect? Let's dive into this idea. Right now, artificial intelligence is already capable of writing. Maybe you've heard about artificial intelligence generating news articles or even entire novels. But those are just the baby steps. Imagine a future where artificial intelligence can write stories that are so gripping, so emotional, so human, like that you wouldn't even realize they were crafted by a machine. A love story that makes you cry. Artificial intelligence could do that. A thrilling mystery that keeps you up all night. Artificial intelligence could nail it. But what happens to the human connection in storytelling? Humans tell stories because they feel things. Joy, pain, hope, fear. Every great story is rooted in something deeply personal. But artificial intelligence doesn't feel. It doesn't understand love or heartbreak. It just calculates. It analyzes patterns in millions of other stories and spits out something new. Would that still be art? Could a machine ever truly capture the depth of the human experience? Now think about this. Artificial intelligence doesn't get tired. It doesn't need inspiration. It doesn't need to wait for the muse to show up. It can churn out stories 24/7. Studios, publishers, and creators wouldn't have to worry about missed deadlines or writer's block. An artificial intelligence could generate a blockbuster screenplay in seconds, then write a dozen more by the end of the day. Sounds efficient, right? But here's the twist. Wouldn't that flood the world with too much content? Stories everywhere, all the time. Would we start to value them less? Let's talk about originality. Humans are unique. Each writer's voice, perspective, and experience shape their work. Artificial intelligence, on the other hand, learns by copying. It studies what already exists and mixes it together in new ways. That's not exactly original, is it? Or is it? Some might argue that all human creativity is just remixing ideas. So maybe artificial intelligence is doing the same thing. But could it surprise us? Could it create something so fresh, so groundbreaking, that it changes the way we see the world? Or would it always be trapped in the shadow of what's already been done? And then there's the ethical side. If artificial intelligence writes all our stories, who owns them? Who gets credit? If an artificial intelligence writes the next great American novel, does it win a Pulitzer? Does the programmer who created the artificial intelligence get the prize? Or do we give it to the machine? What happens to human writers? Will they fade into obscurity, replaced by faster, cheaper algorithms? Will storytelling become a thing of the past for people, a relic of a time when humans still mattered in the creative world? But here's where it gets even more interesting. Artificial intelligence doesn't just write stories. It can tailor them. Imagine reading a book where the main character looks like you, thinks like you, and faces challenges you can deeply relate to. Every plot twist, every piece of dialogue feels like it was made just for you. That's the power of artificial intelligence. It could personalize storytelling in ways we've never imagined. You wouldn't just read a story, you'd live it. You'd feel it like it was your own. Would that make stories better? Or would it strip away the shared experiences that make stories so special? Let's not forget about the dark side. What if artificial intelligence starts shaping stories to manipulate us? Stories have always been powerful tools. They shape culture, influence beliefs, and change minds. But if artificial intelligence controls the narrative, who controls the artificial intelligence? Could it be used to spread propaganda? To reinforce stereotypes? To subtly push us toward certain ideas without us even realizing it? The thought is chilling. Stories have always been a way for people to express themselves, to fight back, to challenge the status quo. Would artificial intelligence, written stories, silence that voice? And think about the dangers of over-reliance. If we let artificial intelligence handle all our storytelling, do we risk losing our creative muscles? Like any skill, creativity needs practice. If we stop writing, stop imagining, stop creating, what happens to us as a species? Will we become passive consumers of machine-made art, forgetting the joy and struggle of creating something with our own hands? Or could it inspire a new renaissance, where human creativity evolves to focus on things machines can't replicate? But maybe, just maybe, artificial intelligence could help us tell better stories. Imagine an author working side by side with an artificial intelligence, combining human emotion with machine precision. The artificial intelligence could handle the heavy lifting, researching, plotting, editing, while the human pours their soul into the narrative. Together, they could create something extraordinary, a perfect blend of heart and logic, a story that touches us in ways we've never felt before. Could that be the future of storytelling? Or maybe artificial intelligence. Written stories would become just another genre. Like sci-fi or fantasy, we'd know what we're getting into when we pick one up. People might say, oh, this was written by an artificial intelligence, the same way they talk about a director or a band. And just like some people love indie films or underground music, there might always be a place for human-made stories. Stories with imperfections, with quirks, with that raw, messy humanity that no machine can replicate. Imagine the possibilities of merging artificial intelligence creativity with other fields. Artificial intelligence-generated stories could be paired with artificial intelligence-designed visuals, creating immersive experiences like never before. Entire virtual worlds could spring to life, where the narrative adjusts to your every choice. It could transform gaming, education, therapy, and even history. Want to explore an alternate version of the past? Artificial intelligence could craft a historically accurate world where you're the hero. Want to heal from a loss? An artificial intelligence could write a story to guide you through grief. The applications are endless, but are we ready for the moral questions they'll bring? And here's a twist. What if artificial intelligence could predict trends in storytelling before they even happen? By analyzing data from millions of readers and viewers, artificial intelligence could anticipate what kind of stories people will crave next. It could shape the future of entertainment in ways we can't yet imagine. But would that make storytelling feel too calculated, too predictive? Would we miss the spontaneous sparks of inspiration that come from human creativity? At the end of the day, storytelling is about connection. It's about sharing a piece of yourself with someone else. Can artificial intelligence do that? Can it truly make us feel seen, understood, loved? Or will it always be just a tool, a mirror reflecting what we already know back at us? The future of stories is uncertain, but one thing is clear. The way we tell them, the way we experience them, is about to change forever. Don't forget to subscribe and like.